Hey Divi Nation, thanks for joining us in this live stream, and today I will be showing you how to use box shadows as swipe backgrounds on Hover using Divi's built-in options. So we're going to use the Personal Stylist Layout Pack, so if you haven't checked that out yet, make sure that you do. I've mentioned the link in the description below, and if you're not an Elegant Themes member yet, make sure that you check out Divi. And without any further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so let's start off by taking a look at the Personal Stylist Layout Pack. So if you want to see it for yourself, you can go to elegantthemes.com/layouts, and over here you have all of the layout packs. You can go ahead and scroll down until you come across the Personal Stylist Layout Pack. And if you click on it, you can join to download or view the live demo by clicking on the blue button, and this will redirect you to a live website. And over here you can discover all the different layouts. You should definitely check this out. This is great for any kind of personal website that you're creating. And today we'll use this in our use case tutorial. So we're going to use box shadows as swipe backgrounds with Divi's built-in options. And what does that look like? Let's take a look. So this is the first example that we'll recreate. And we have an alternative as well, so we can make it appear horizontally or vertically as well. And then we have the second example over here. And the third, so take a look at the left side. All right, so let's dive in. And the first thing you will need to do is add the Personal Stylist homepage to your website. So create a page using this layout. So I've already done that over here. I've uploaded it from my pre-made layouts. And then we can get started with the first example, which was the following one. All right, so the first thing you will need to do over here is change the box shadow of this button module over here. So the line that you can see, the border is created using a box shadow. So go ahead and navigate to the box shadow options and change the shadow color into white. Then go ahead and open the section settings over here. Go to the background settings and make sure that the background color is the following one or any other kind of color that you want to choose really. And change this background color on Hover. And for Hover, we're going to use an entirely white color. So that's the color that you can see over here. And the next step is adding a default box shadow to the section. And we're going to choose the following option over here. So the last one in the list. And this is an inner shadow, so it's important that you select an inner shadow if you want the box shadow to appear within the section and not behind it. And then we'll change around some of the settings over here. So we'll add 0 pixels to the horizontal position and 0 pixels to the vertical position as well. And we're also going to change the box shadow color. And then we're going to modify the horizontal position and vertical position. So as for now, you cannot see any box shadow, and that's exactly what we want because we want it to appear on Hover only. So to enable the Hover options, you'll have to click on this icon over here, and you'll have to do that for both the horizontal position and the vertical position. So we'll add 800 pixels to the horizontal position, but if you instead want to recreate this one over here, you can add 800 pixels to the vertical position instead. Or you can add any other value that you want, but we're just going to recreate the vertical one. And then we'll go to the advanced tab over here, and we're going to decrease the transition duration. And we're going to keep the same transition speed curve. So this is the first example that we've created. Let's take a look. All right, so here we have it. And if you're wondering what that looks like on a mobile device, well, there won't change anything if there's not a click option on Hover for the mobile device someone is using. But if someone has this option included, so if they can see hover options on click through their phone, they'll get something along these lines. So they'll still be able to read everything and they'll have this effect. But if not, nothing else will change. So they will keep seeing the static version of the layout, and on desktop, everyone gets to see this effect. So let's move on to the second example, which is the following one. All right, so I'm going to enable the visual builder once again over here, and then I'll start with the first one. So we have 3 modules over here, text modules, and we're going to add an effect to each one of them. We have one that's sliding to the right, one that's sliding to the bottom, and the other one is also sliding to the right. So you have two options. You can either make it slide to the right or to the bottom. All right, and we're going to open this text module over here, and the first thing we're going to do is change the text color on hover. So instead of having a dark text color, we're going to choose a light one. And then we'll also change the color of the border on hover by enabling the hover options and changing the border color into the following color code. So if you want to follow everything step by step and get all of the color codes and all of the numbers and such, you can go to the blog post, which I have mentioned in the description below, and everything is explained step by step, and you can get all of that information over there, or you can just read it off the screen. And then we're going to add a box shadow. So we'll start off with a default one. Again, I'm selecting the last option over here, but you can select something else as well, but just make sure that you change the box shadow position into inner shadow instead of outer shadow, which most people use the most when it comes to box shadow. So again, we're going to add 0 pixels to the horizontal position and the vertical position as well to make it disappear when the state is not hovered. And we're going to change the shadow color as well. And then we'll change the horizontal position on hover by clicking on the icon and adding 520 pixels instead. So here we have it. And then we'll go to the advanced tab and we'll increase the transition duration. So you're free to play around with these values and create your desired effect. And by the way, even though we're handling 3 examples, you can basically do this for any kind of design element on your page that includes a box shadow. So you can create this kind of effect, and it will look great on desktop. It will look good on phones that have a click option for hover options as well. And it won't change anything for mobile users that don't have that click option for hovering. All right, so then we'll simply just copy the module styles of this module and paste them on the third text module over here to create the same kind of effect, because these 2 modules have the same settings. So by just copying the module styles, we were able to just transfer the design style right to this text module over here. So the only module that's left is this one, the second one over here. And the first thing we're going to do here is change the text color on hover. So instead of using dark on hover, go ahead and select light. And then we'll go to the border options over here as well, and we're going to change the border color into that same kind of pink color. And we're using this color for the box shadow as well, so we want it to be equally colored, and that's why we're changing the border colors over here. So then we'll go ahead and add a box shadow. Again, we're selecting the inner shadow, box shadow position, and we'll add 0 pixels to the horizontal position and the vertical position as well. We'll change the color of the shadow. We'll make a change on hover for the vertical position. Instead of it being 0 pixels, we'll add 500 pixels. And this will make sure all of the all of the place, all of the space in the module is covered. So here we have it. And then again, you can go ahead and play around with the transition options to create your desired outcome. Here we go. So that was the second example. Let's take a look at the outcome. So this was the first one we created, and the second one, and onto the third example, which is the following one. If you're hovering the row and the section, you have this kind of transitioning on the left side of the screen. So to accomplish that, the first thing we're going to do over here is scroll down to the section, and we're going to open the row settings over here. Go to the sizing settings. We're going to make it full width, and we're also going to use a custom gutter width of 2. Then we'll go to the spacing settings. So again, you can find all of these steps in the blog posts, which I've mentioned in the description below. And I'm going to add 10 to the left and the right side over here. So we're using viewport units, and I'm also going to add 15 to the left padding of the second column, but we'll remove that on tablet and phone by adding 0 instead. And then we'll go to the box shadow options, and we're going to add an inner shadow box shadow here as well. 0 pixels for the horizontal and vertical position. We'll change the shadow color as well. And then we'll modify the horizontal position on hover into 50 pixels. So here we have it. Last but not least, we're going to increase the transition duration. So over here you can see that it happens rather smoothly. We'll also add a bit of delay so the section can appear first and it can be followed up by the box shadow of the row. So we're going to add 1,000 and delay of 700. All right, then we'll open the section settings over here, and we're going to remove the sizing options by just right-clicking and clicking on Reset Sizing Styles. And we'll remove the border as well by resetting or just adding 0 pixels instead. And then we'll add a box shadow, a default box shadow. Again, we're selecting the inner shadow option over there, and we'll add 0 pixels to the horizontal position and vertical position. So as you can notice, it kind of takes the same kind of steps to achieve different results. So the initial idea is that you remove the box shadow in a static state and just add it on a hover state as you wish. So you can really get the most out of these box shadows by playing around with them and seeing what kind of effects that you can get from it. So we're changing the box shadow as well. This is the color code, and we're making sure that the box shadow position is inner shadow. And then we'll change the horizontal position on hover into 60 pixels, and we'll also increase the transition duration in the advanced tab into 1000, and then we're done. So we've used the same kind of approach to create various examples, and you can really do that for each and every design element that you have on your page, even for images if you want to change the look and feel in a swipe kind of way. So I'm just going to exit Visual Builder, and let's take a look at all 3 examples once again. The first one, the second one, and the third one. So go ahead and play around with all of these options and, create stunning web design using Divi. Well, that was all for this tutorial. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and we hope that you're enjoying this ongoing Divi design initiative where we try to put something extra into your design toolbox each and every week. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.